Thomas Seyfried, a professor of biology and genetics, argues that cancer is primarily a metabolic disorder, not a genetic one. He contends that our modern lifestyle contributes significantly to cancer rates, citing evidence from populations unaffected by modern lifestyle diseases and studies on wild versus domestic animals. Seyfried advocates for metabolic therapy, a treatment approach aimed at prevention and management of cancer, and claims that it can help reduce cancer risk and improve survival outcomes in terminal cases. He views current cancer treatments as misdirected, leading to tragic consequences. Cancer ranks as the second leading cause of death globally, following heart disease. Various cancers, although different in type, share a common reliance on fermentation for energy production without oxygen. Cancer cells can thrive in environments where normal cells would perish, such as in the presence of cyanide, indicating their inefficient energy processes. Even in oxygen-rich conditions, cancer cells often produce lactic acid, revealing their dependence on anaerobic pathways. This inefficiency is a hallmark of cancer cell metabolism. The discussion centers on the concept that cancer cells rely on ancient fermentation pathways for energy due to mitochondrial inefficiency. This process, which predates oxygen on Earth, allows cancer cells to thrive by utilizing glucose and producing lactic acid, even in low-oxygen environments. Research by Otto Warburg in the 1920s indicated that cancer cells take in more glucose and produce less energy efficiently compared to normal cells. A ketogenic diet has shown promise in lowering blood sugar and potentially impacting tumor growth. Cancer cells rely on an ancient energy process called fermentation, similar to early organisms that thrived without oxygen. In cancer, mitochondria, energy centers of cells, are defective, forcing the cell to depend on glucose and glutamine for energy. Otto Warburg first identified this in the 1920s, observing that cancer cells consume glucose inefficiently, producing lactic acid as a byproduct. Restricting glucose and glutamine, while supporting the body with ketones, may selectively starve cancer cells without harming healthy cells, providing a potential therapeutic approach. Ketones are water-soluble molecules produced by the liver as breakdown products of fatty acids, especially when glucose levels are low. In ketosis, the body switches from glucose to ketones as its main energy source, a state familiar to our ancestors who often consumed fewer carbohydrates. Ketones, like beta-hydroxybutyrate, provide an efficient fuel for the brain and muscles. Modern humans rarely enter ketosis due to high-carb diets, but it was common historically, likely helping to prevent diseases like cancer. Unlike us, animals and early humans had diets that supported ketosis naturally. Exercise plays a key role in fighting cancer by lowering blood sugar and reducing available glutamine, which are the main energy sources for cancer cells. It also enhances mitochondrial health by promoting the use of ketones as fuel, making energy production in cells more efficient. Additionally, the oxygen intake during exercise supports mitochondrial function, helping cells avoid the metabolic shifts associated with cancer. Regular physical activity contributes to a robust, disease-resistant body similar to those of our ancestors, who maintained active lifestyles and had lower rates of modern chronic diseases. Cancer isn't purely genetic. While inherited genetic factors can increase the risk, lifestyle and environmental factors also play a significant role. The speaker explains that cancer often results from chronic damage to mitochondria, which can disrupt cellular energy production and eventually lead to uncontrolled cell growth. Factors such as exposure to microplastics, chemical carcinogens, processed foods, and lack of exercise can increase this risk. However, maintaining a healthy lifestyle, with exercise, fasting, and reduced intake of processed foods, can help keep mitochondria resilient, potentially lowering cancer risk. Many experts previously believed cancer was primarily genetic, driven by DNA mutations in cell nuclei, somatic mutation theory. However, new evidence challenges this view, suggesting that cancer may stem more from mitochondrial dysfunction than from genetic mutations. Studies show that when a tumor nucleus is placed in a healthy cell, normal growth occurs. But if a healthy nucleus is placed in a cell with dysfunctional mitochondria, cancer-like growth continues. This suggests that mitochondrial health, not nuclear DNA mutations, plays a key role in cancer development. Dr. Seyfried's mitochondrial theory of cancer, which argues that cancer is a metabolic rather than genetic disease, faces resistance for several reasons. Firstly, large institutions, researchers, and funding bodies have long focused on genetic mutations, aligning with established practices, grants, and treatments that generate significant revenue. Shifting to a new paradigm would disrupt this structure, which heavily invests in genetic research and drug development. Such a shift challenges foundational beliefs in cancer biology, requiring substantial evidence, gradual acceptance, and reorientation of resources. Dr. Seyfried critiques conventional cancer treatments like chemotherapy, radiation, and surgery as medieval, arguing that they offer limited overall survival benefits and often leave patients with severe side effects. Technologies to prevent cancer largely rely on lifestyle interventions and metabolic therapies aimed at targeting cancer's energy sources, glucose and glutamine. According to Seyfried, by managing these sources, metabolic therapy not only helps reduce tumor size but also prevents recurrence, offering a preventive approach without the damaging effects of conventional treatments. Dr. Thomas Seyfried recommends a low-carbohydrate, low-glycemic diet combined with regular exercise to help prevent cancer. He suggests that maintaining a low glucose ketone index, GKI, is key, as it mimics the metabolic conditions of our ancestors, who had fewer cancer cases. This diet involves eating leafy vegetables, lean meats, and low-sugar fruits like grapefruit to support healthy mitochondria and reduce the fuel cancer cells need. Regularly checking your GKI can help you stay in this cancer-preventive, Paleolithic zone. Dr. Seyfried shared anecdotes from his research on metabolic therapy for cancer treatment, including a case where a woman successfully treated her dog with a mast cell tumor using a low-calorie, natural diet. This approach led to the tumor's disappearance. He also described Pablo Kelly, a glioblastoma patient who rejected conventional treatments and instead followed metabolic therapy, resulting in long-term survival beyond typical expectations for his diagnosis. Seyfried emphasizes that while metabolic therapy isn't a cure, it can effectively manage cancer. Metabolic therapy combines a calorie-restricted ketogenic diet to manage cancer by lowering the glucose ketone index, GKI, to around 2.0. Dr. Seyfried highlights that this approach can enhance the effectiveness of chemotherapy when in nutritional ketosis, allowing for lower doses to be used more effectively. He suggests that while patients may consider conventional treatments, integrating metabolic therapy may help shrink tumors, making surgical procedures more viable and potentially extending survival. The goal is to create an environment unfavorable for cancer growth through dietary modifications and non-toxic strategies. The combination of a ketogenic diet and hyperbaric oxygen therapy, HBOT, has been shown to significantly increase survival rates, sometimes by as much as 80%. Hyperbaric oxygen enhances the effectiveness of radiation therapy by increasing the levels of reactive oxygen species, ROS, that selectively kill tumor cells while sparing healthy tissue. The success of this metabolic therapy relies heavily on patient engagement, requiring a commitment to maintaining nutritional ketosis and monitoring the glucose ketone index, GKI. Understanding the underlying biochemistry is crucial for optimizing treatment outcomes. Yes, there can be a genetic predisposition to cancer, especially in families with a history of certain types of cancer, like breast cancer. However, environmental factors and lifestyle choices also play significant roles in cancer development. For someone who is cancer-free, adopting a healthier lifestyle through calorie restriction, a ketogenic diet, or fasting may help maintain metabolic health and potentially reduce cancer risk. Monitoring your glucose and ketone levels can assist in achieving and maintaining a state of nutritional ketosis. Ultimately, decisions about diet and health should be personal and informed. Discipline plays a crucial role in health and well-being, particularly through practices like fasting, which are emphasized in many religious traditions for purification and self-control. Dr. Seyfried notes that our ancestors thrived in conditions that required focus and discipline to survive, contrasting this with modern conveniences that tempt indulgence. He advises maintaining a balance in lifestyle choices, incorporating exercise and fasting while allowing occasional indulgences. If faced with cancer, he emphasizes the importance of adopting metabolic therapy, informed by science and personal responsibility. Dr. Seyfried advises his children to maintain a balanced lifestyle that includes exercise and intermittent fasting while allowing for occasional indulgences. He emphasizes the importance of understanding the science behind health choices rather than adhering strictly to a perfect diet. Seyfried believes that if faced with cancer, they should pursue metabolic therapy based on scientific principles. His hope lies in the growing evidence supporting these approaches, which he believes can lead to improved quality of life and longevity for cancer patients. Dr. Seyfried acknowledges the challenges within the current medical establishment regarding cancer treatment and expresses hope for change driven by public demand and awareness. He emphasizes the importance of understanding metabolic therapy and how it can improve the quality of life for cancer patients. Seyfried encourages individuals battling cancer to seek out knowledge and remain open to alternative therapies, despite the skepticism they may face from traditional medical institutions. He believes that as more people recognize the benefits of these approaches, a significant paradigm shift will occur in cancer treatment.